Sir Topham Hatt spoke kindly to Duck.
The accident wasn't your fault. We should have checked that this tail lamp was fixed on properly.
Getting into this set and my favorite Flying Kipper themed episode, we're going to be going over the characters and other pieces included. So of course we have to have Duck, the Great Western Engine, who is going to be Henry's back engine in this episode. And then for rolling stock in this set, I have included 2 Great Troublesome Trucks. We have a white cargo car and a piece of cargo that came with the cargo crane. This crane is a great addition because it can represent the shots in the episode where the fish is being loaded onto the train.
One night, a special load of fish was ordered.
And then I also have the Troublesome Brake Van to help represent the old vans that will be attached to the Flying Kipper in this episode. And then for figures, I have a workman here to help put the train together. And then I also have another workman, or it could be a driver and fireman. And then we have the Fat Controller himself. So what you're looking at right now is going to be the harbor by the big station. So I'm really pleased with how this part of the set turned out. I also added the gristmill to this set to add to the harbor scene. This set also has some trees to help bring it to life. And then we have Edward's Station because this is where Henry stops to get Duck to be his back engine before going up Gordon's Hill. As for the set itself, there's plenty of room for these 2 engines to go around. We have a nice long viaduct to represent Gordon's Hill in this episode. We have a line going underneath the viaduct. You get some switches in this set, as well as a V-switch, a T-switch, and you get a pair of buffers. And every time I do story sets, I always have people in my comment section asking for a nice overhead shot to make it easier to replicate this set. So here is a nice overhead shot of this one. Now it is time to reenact this episode as I do in every single story set video. So here the episode starts off with Henry waiting very impatiently at the harbor for his train.
Henry waited impatiently by the quayside as Duck shunted them into position.
And I don't know about you guys, but I have always loved the scene of the Fat Controller standing on a box, talking to the workmen, saying that extra vans must be added to the Flying Kipper.
Sir Topham Hatt decided that extra vans must be added to the train that the men call the Flying Kipper.
Now what's great about this set is that there's plenty of room to add engines and pieces like Thomas and the mail coach to recreate this scene at the harbor.
Hello, Duck. Going fishing? I'd take care if I were you. Why? Huffed Duck. Good night.
The driver gives Henry a quick pep talk.
You'll just have to put up with it, Henry, said his driver. At least the extra load will mean you can have another engine help us up Gordon's Hill.
And the mighty Henry and the Flying Kipper is ready to go. But not before we get this amazing and iconic shot of Henry leaving the harbor. And so here at Edward Station, we have Duck waiting in a siding for Henry's train, just like in the episode.
Meanwhile, Duck was waiting at Edward Station so that he could help the heavy train by pushing from behind.
Henry arrives at the station, signals to Duck, and Duck buffers up to the back of the train without being coupled on.
Beep, 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 beep. I need help, please. Beep, beep, replied Duck. I won't be long.
Now we come to the fun part. So here we are at Gordon's Hill on the set. The tail lamp falls off on the back of the van, and then Duck cannot see the back of the train.
There's no sign of a tail lamp, he puffed. He whistled, but there was no reply. Meanwhile, Henry had noticed something too.
This scene in general is just so fun. So we go back and forth between Henry and Duck as the tail lamp falls off. Henry's train is getting heavier, and then there was trouble.
Then there was trouble.
And so you can recreate this crash on Gordon's Hill whichever way you like, but this is how I did it here. We all just feel so bad for Henry. Whenever he pulls the Flying Kipper, an accident is bound to happen.
No one was hurt, but a strong smell of fish hung in the air.
Workmen find the tail lamp at the bottom of the hill, and then Sir Topham Hatt can talk to Duck.
Sir Topham Hatt spoke kindly to Duck.
The accident wasn't your fault. We should have checked that this tail lamp was fixed on properly.
You can have Edward arrive at the breakdown train just like in the episode and recreate it, or you can have Thomas laughing at Duck in a siding over here.
Thomas told me to be careful about fish. They got me in a right pickle, didn't they?
The beautiful thing about these sets is that you can always add more engines such as Edward or Thomas, more pieces into the harbor such as the Solar Bay tugboat, more pieces of rolling stock such as the breakdown train or the mail coach, to recreate these episodes to a T, and even better than I did. Building this set, filming this video, and rewatching one of my favorite episodes of the entire classic series is some of the most fun that I have had making videos on my channel yet. Really nothing is going to be classic Thomas and Friends or classic Thomas Wooden Railway, so I always love pulling out my models and making a nice set based off an episode. Here is a final shot of this set here. All of these pieces, engines, and items can help you recreate the episode Fish from Season 4 of Thomas and Friends. I want to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.